What's going on, my people? Hello and welcome to another video of mine. It's Kemal AA, and this is a Chelsea transfer news video for you guys, where I'll keep you guys up to date with all the latest Chelsea news in the past 24 hours and some juicy news. The best striker in Europe, Robert Lewandowski. Chelsea have been linked with the Polish striker, the Polish sensation, world-class Bayern Munich star, leading the line, arguably one of the best strikers of his generation, one of the best strikers of all time. What he's produced, what he's won. Could Chelsea be signing him? Now, according to various outlets, Chelsea have made contact with his representatives. I'll be delving into all the details and giving my thoughts, opinions. We'll be taking a look at his statistics so far this season for Bayern Munich and what he's done in the past. But before I do get into it, make sure you smash like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification. The biggest news story, of course, it is in regards to Robert Lewandowski. And according to Sky Germany, so relatively credible and very reliable, Lewandowski is currently a Chelsea target for the summer window, and contact has already been made. Now, if you look at his statistics so far, 28 games in the Bundesliga, 40 goals, a staggering 40 goals and 7 assists this season. Can you imagine the return that he's producing at his age of 32? Now, he is going to be 33 on the 21st of August, so you do need to take some context into this. If we did sign Lewandowski, he will not be a long-term solution. That's pretty evident, that's pretty clear. There's some arguments that he's already on the decline. He's not going to peak further. He's not going to get any better than this. And if he comes to the Premier League, he will have the adaptation period. We've seen this with Kai Havertz. We've seen this with Timo Werner, where they're coming from the Bundesliga and they need to take time to adapt, sometimes up to a season. And with Lewandowski at 32, heading into 33, if he needs a season to adapt, you're not going to get the best out of Lewandowski. So take that into consideration. But in terms of his output, what he produces on the pitch is simply phenomenal. It's absolutely stunning. 40 goals and 7 assists in 28 games a season. Last season, 31 games, 34 goals and 4 assists. If you look at his play style, the way he would suit Thomas Tuchel's style of play, yes, we like to counter press. As soon as we lose the ball, you're going to have 4 or 5 men counter pressing, that gegenpressing style of football. We press from the front, we defend from the front in numbers, but Lewandowski is a clinical finisher for me. He's the best striker in Europe. What he's done, winning the Champions League, he's a European champion. He's won the Bundesliga for 9 times in a row. He's been simply sensational. And I think that with his winning mentality that he can bring to the squad, but also his finishing capabilities. How many times this season has Timo Werner, Kai Havertz, Hakim Ziyech, or the team in general had so many goal-scoring opportunities where we haven't put them away, and we've only won the game by a slender advantage, whether that's a 1-0, a 2-0, etc. It's simply unacceptable. And yes, at the moment it's getting us results, but that's simply not sustainable. Next season, if you want to win the Premier League, if you want to win the major honours, if you want to compete on all fronts, you need to sign a striker that has the capability to put these chances away, that is clinical, that is absolutely deadly and lethal in front of goal, and that is going to bury chances in front of goal. And Lewandowski is your man. There is no man on this planet that is more clinical than this guy in that striker position. The only one up there with him is Harry Kane, but Robert Lewandowski is world class, and he's a perfect short-term solution. We have a lot of youngsters in this team. We have a lot of inexperienced players, but by having the calibre, the level of Robert Lewandowski, you have that experience already, and he can allow Timo Werner to develop and grow. He can teach youngsters. He can essentially allow them to emulate those players. He can allow the players around them to prosper, especially those youngsters, your Kai Havertz, your Timo Werners. The experience that he can bring to this team is absolutely invaluable. You've seen the experience Thiago Silva's brought to that back line, that he's brought to the back line. We have a lot of youngsters, we have a lot of inexperience, and that's why we have a lack of a winning mentality. When you bring in a Robert Lewandowski, he's won it all, he's got plenty of experience, he will lead Chelsea to a title-winning team. We will win a Premier League title with Robert Lewandowski signed. Now, here's the thing, here's the caveat. What are the possibilities of Chelsea signing Robert Lewandowski this summer? And I'm here to say that it's extremely slim. Why is it slim? At the moment, he's at Bayern Munich. Why would he leave Bayern Munich at the minute? He's a European champion. He's winning trophies season in, season out. He's arguably the biggest and best club in Europe right now. There is no reason for him to leave. The only way he would leave is if he wants a new challenge. If he wants to come to the Premier League. But again, it's at the minute right now, Sky Germany said that Chelsea are interested and have made contact with his representatives and his agents to potentially sign Robert Lewandowski this summer. Of course, we know that Chelsea are going to be in for a striker this summer. That's evidently clear. Matt Law wrote an article on it. Striker is the priority position that the Chelsea hierarchy are looking at, that Thomas Tuchel are looking at to sign to elevate this team to become a title-winning team for next season. Now, as I said, you look at the other names that we're looking at. Harry Kane. How realistic is Harry Kane? Very, very slim, 0.5% to 1% because of our direct rivalry with Tottenham, etc., etc., and of course the fees and everything. You then look at other situations as well. Erling Haaland, how realistic is he? Again, there's going to be a lot of clubs that are going to be in for him. He's going to be an extortionate amount of money, astronomical agent fees. He's another stumbling barrier. Robert Lewandowski would be the cheapest out of the three because of his age and his contract situation, but he still wouldn't come at a cheap cost. Bayern Munich, he's their best player. He would command at least 50, 60 million pounds. And here's my question to you. Would you spend 60 million pounds for a 32-year-old who will be turning 33 in August? Yes, for a short-term solution, you may at best get 2 world-class seasons out of him, but at that point he will then be on a steep, rapid decline. He will be on massive wages if he signs for Chelsea. We're looking at easy 300 to 400,000 pound a week. And again, because he's at that age right now, he will most likely become injury prone. So he may miss quite a few months of a season. So again, as a short-term solution, no problem. If he was available for maybe, let's say, this is my thoughts, opinions now, but if he was available at 30 million pounds and his wages weren't so astronomical, for me, perfect. Short-term solution for 1 or 2 years, he would get you a title 100%. 100% I'll be up for that. But the wages that he's going to require, the wages that he will demand, and the fee that Bayern Munich will demand to actually sign Robert Lewandowski, for me, it puts me off. We know the level that he is. But I would rather see that investment on the Harry Kane if it was somewhat realistic, because I know Harry Kane would be upwards and north of 120 million pounds. But Harry Kane is 5 years younger than Robert Lewandowski. You will still get 5 more world-class years out of Harry Kane. Harry Kane is already Premier League proven. Harry Kane is already an England international. Harry Kane already fills that homegrown quota. Harry Kane doesn't even have to settle London because he already lives in London. Yeah, so for me, Harry Kane is almost a guarantee in terms of what he produces, the output that he has, 25 Premier League goals, season in, season out. You can't get that guarantee Lewandowski because he's moving leagues, he will have an adaptation period, he's never lived in London, he's not Premier League proven, he's significantly older compared to Harry Kane, and he still has his own injury issues. So for me personally, I would only sign Lewandowski if the price is reasonable. £40 million. I wouldn't go further. And wages, I would say that reasonable would be £200,000 a week, but I know that he would command a lot higher. But what do you guys think? Do you think that Lewandowski is even realistic? Would Lewandowski want to even come to Chelsea? That's the other question here. He might be happy and settled at Bayern Munich, or do you think he wants a new challenge? If you wanted to sign Lewandowski, what's your reasoning? Would you rather Harry Kane or Lewandowski? Leave me your thoughts, opinions in the comment section below. But let's move on to some other transfer news, and it is in regards to Antonio Rudiger. It looks likely that Antonio Rudiger will be extending his contract, of course, after the run of games that he's had under Thomas Tuchel. He's been simply sensational. He's been world class ever since Tuchel has walked through those double doors at Cobham. He's played every single game, every single major game. He's scored in our last game as well. He's pivotal, he's crucial. Hustle Rudiger. He's been one of our best players. He's been simply superb. He was on his way out on the Lampard. He didn't go, and Tuchel has essentially revived him. You know, he's had that new breath of fresh air now, and he's been playing superb. His ball playing abilities, his commanding of that box, his strength, his leadership skills. He's in his prime as well. I think that he will be extending his contract, especially with Tuchel being here long term potentially. Antonio Rudiger will be very happy to be staying at Chelsea, and I think that Antonio Rudiger will be extending his contract, which is of course massive news for Chelsea. Are you guys happy about that? Are you happy that Antonio Rudiger will be extending his contract at Chelsea? Leave me your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. As I said, he's been world class since Thomas Tuchel's arrived. He hasn't put a foot wrong. He's been superb, and I think if he does get a new contract, it's completely deserved. You can't argue against it. And now the question begs now: do we need to sign a world-class centre-back? We've got Antonio Rudiger potentially signing a new contract. We've got Andreas Christensen, who has been superb and almost flawless since Thomas Tuchel's coming. We've got that world-class experienced Thiago Silva, who's on the verge of signing a contract extension. We've got Zuma. Will Zuma be heading out the door? And I think if Zuma leaves, yes. I think Varane could be heading to Chelsea. I've got some transfer news in regards to Varane. So I've heard some interesting things, and there are some interesting things that Fabrizio Romano said. So check out my news ready for tomorrow. But these are interesting things to consider. The striker and the centre back is a priority according to Matt Law. Thomas Tuchel and the Chelsea hierarchy will be discussing this in board meetings after, of course, the season has been concluded, and we'll see where we sign. But strap yourselves in, because Chelsea are going to have a mega summer window, in my opinion. So let's wait and see. If you did enjoy this news daily video, don't forget to smash the like button, subscribe, hit the bell notification, and I'll see all of you guys for my next video. Peace.